Okay, so let's start with our topic called adding, updating, deleting masters. So currently stock group and unit of measurement stock item is not visible. So I'll make it visible first and click on create datasheets button. So now all the sheets are visible. So let's see which company is opened in Tally. It is ABCD company. I will change this company to sample company. So let's go by this company. So first of all, I need to click on get list of companies. As soon as I click on get list of companies, it will change the company. Now I'm clicking on groups. So I want to import all the groups from Tally. So how it will be done? So it's very simple. Just click on get groups. It will show a caution that this will delete all the data from the sheet and will copy the data from Tally. So if there is any data available, any groups available here in the sheet, it will delete all those rows and it will copy the details from Tally. So just click on continue, and that's all. It imported all the groups from Tally. You may see that it has imported all the groups from Tally. Now let's click on ledgers. So again, I'm clicking on get ledgers. So it is showing the similar error that it is showing the similar caution that it will delete all the data. So if there is any important data, if there is anything important, you need to copy that to some other sheet and then only click this. So currently there is no data. I am clicking on yes button, and as soon as I click yes, it has started copying data from Tally and the import is completed. So you may check that it has also copied opening balance, address, details, um, PIN number, state, country, email detail, contact person, PAN number, even GST number, mm, tax types, GST applicable or not, GST duty rate, whatever available in the uh, Tally, it has basically copied everything here. So this is how we can import stock groups, unit of measurement, and stock items using get items button. Now let's try to make some changes in the Tally. So here uh, I want to create one more ledger in Tally. So let's add some ledger. So I am trying to add a sorry, I want to add new group to Tally. So I am creating a new group. Uh, for example, and I am making a parent group. I am copying this and pasting here parent group as unsecured loan, and I want to add this particular in Tally. So for this I just need to click on export groups to Tally. So as soon as I click export group to Tally, it is showing me that this particular group name is created, and that is the reason the field description is showing as created. Let us check whether it is actually created or not. So I'm selecting accounts info, groups, alter, loan from. Okay, so you may notice that it is under unsecured loans. So now, since this is not a correct group, I want to delete it, or maybe I want to change the name only as instead of loan from AV Solutions. I just want to make changes as as loan, other loans. So you may notice that there is one column called modified name. So this column is utilized only when we want to uh, modify the group name or a actual item name. So for that purpose we are using. So we need to enter old group name or current group name here, and in this column we need to enter a new group name that we want. We may change other columns as well as per our requirement, and for that there is a single column. So if I want to make changes here, instead of having it in unsecured loans, if I want to make the changes in a secured loans, so I'll make both the changes. So now this loan from AV Solution group will be changed to other loans, and it will be grouped under secured loans. So let's check whether it is working that way or not. So sorry, I have clicked incorrect button. I need to click export group to tally. So I'm clicking on export group to tally, and you may check that it is showing as altered. So that means this group is changed. So now if I go here and alter loan from AV Solution is not visible, instead of that other loans is visible, and it is grouped under secured loans. I may add any number of rows here. There is no restriction for creating a new groups or altering anything. So I'll add some more so that you will come to know that if it is working correct or not. So suppose I want to add it here in secured loans. I'm trying to add something in a group which doesn't, parent group which doesn't exist. Let's see what happens in this case. So I am basically selecting as no action for this because it is already created, or maybe I'll select delete action for this, so that this particular other loans will be deleted. So before doing that, currently loan from AV Solution is not visible, so I need to change this as other loans. And so I want to delete other loans. I want to add this XYZZZ group, and I want to add one more group as AAA, where for the first group I have given correct parent group. For the second group I have given incorrect group which doesn't exist. So let us check what happens. So again I am clicking on export group to tally. So you may not notice that first one got deleted, the second one got created, and for third one it is showing an error that group ABCD does not exist. If you are not able to see full error here, you may check the complete error here. Due to space restrictions, the error is not fully visible, so you may check the exact error here. So this is how it shows an error. So let us also check whether other things worked fine or not. So let me check. Other loans is still available. So you may check that other loans is not available. I have created a new group called XYZZ. That group is now got created, and this AAA group, let me check whether it got created or not. So you may notice that it is not got created because there is an error. So this is how the functionality to create groups works. In a similar fashion, it works for ledgers also. So let me show that. um, Let me create a new ledger. I am going down here. I want to add a new ledger here. I will give some name that AV solutions. Let's I'm adding it as a, sorry, there is some spelling mistake. I am entering this as a group name under sundry datas. Since I am creating, I don't need to provide modified name. I may give some opening balance here, so I am giving 1000 as opening balance. I may give any address here. Suppose I am giving address only XYZ. I am not entering any other details here, so it will be fine. I don't need to provide any other details. Only mandatory details are provided. You may notice that there is a field here required to add. So when there is a yes for required to add, that means this column is important. Without this column, it will not allow you to add. So for adding anything, you need to check this column. For adding this column, ledger name is important. This column sundry data is important and mandatory. This column is not mandatory. This column is not mandatory. I think all other columns are not mandatory. So that is the reason it is showing as no for them. So let's now try to create this particular ledger. First I'll go here and check whether this ledger exists or not. So I'm selecting here AV solutions. You may see that this ledger is not available. I can now click on export ledger to tally, and it has now got created in tally. So let's see this is now available in tally, and it is grouped under sundry debtors. If I want to make certain changes, so if I want to change the name, then I can just go here and change the name. If I want to make certain other changes, for example, address is not correct here, so address is showing only as XYZ here. So let us change some address. So giving some address here. Now let's export ledgers to tally again. Notice that I have not changed the action here. It is still add, but even in that case, it will alter this ledger. So if it finds the ledger, it will just alter that ledger in add action as well. So I'm again opening this, and you may notice that all the address information got updated here in tally. Similar thing can be achieved using change as well, but for change this ledger should exist. uh, I may delete this ledger using delete option. So if I'm selecting delete here, let's click on this button, and you may notice that this has got deleted. If after deleting, if I am running this again, you may notice that it will show an error that item does not exist. That means this AV solution ledger does not exist in the system. and that is the reason it is showing an error. So this can be worked for multiple items. I'm showing it only for one item, but it works fine with all the different ledgers. So if you are trying to create 1000 ledgers at a time, it will still work fine. Similarly, stock groups can be also created, altered, or delete. I can get groups from here. I can get stock groups from here, and then export groups to tally. I can also use export unit of measurement and export the unit of measurement to tally. Similar for stock items. So, what is the use of this particular? Yeah, why we are basically using this ledgers or importing this ledgers here. So importing ledgers and groups is required so that when we are creating sales or purchase, you may notice that this drop down is now visible. So this drop down is basically showing the all the party details from this sheet. So whatever we are importing here, based on that, it is selecting those party details or other ledger accounts uh, for drop down. If we are not importing this ledgers, then you need to manually type everything here, which is a cumbersome, and there could be a scenario where you are typing incorrect spelling, or you are giving a space or something which is not correct. Then in that case, your transaction will not be exported to tally. So that is the reason we need to create a different files, different Excel sheet for each of the company, and we need to first import groups, import ledgers, import stock item, import unit of measurement uh, as a first activity. And once that is done, we can start with importing, exporting purchase, sales, receipts, and payments, journals, etc. So first we need to import all the masters, and then we can work with actual transactions. I think that's all for importing masters. Thank you.